Liverpool crash out of the EFL Cup, the Carabao Cup, and honestly, this might be a blessing in disguise. Welcome back to my channel, The Marching Reds. मैं हूँ अमन चीमा. इस वीडियो में I am going to review the game between Liverpool and Crystal Palace in the fourth round of the Carabao Cup, and yeah, it's Crystal Palace who go through to the next round, and I can finally admit that the quadruple dream is over, and it was Crystal Palace again who handed us the knockout punch. And yeah, I mean, Crystal Palace was the team who did not let us win the first trophy of the season in the FA Community Shield, and they were the same team who ended our Carabao Cup campaign. So now we've got only 3 trophies to fight for, and to say the least, it's a very optimistic start to the video. So let's get right down to the games, and of course, we have to talk about the narratives. Playing 11, I was expecting a few big players to be announced or at least be named on the bench, and जब playing 11 announced हुई, the only thing that I got right was McAllister starting, Chiesa starting, Freddie Woodman in goal, and Andy Robertson as the captain of the team. बाकी आगे पीछे ऊपर नीचे क्या हुआ है, like to see all the big players miss out was a very surprising call, but I liked the fact that he did not name any big players, and by he I mean Arne Slot, because जैसे उसने अपने interviews में भी कहा है, this is one of those competitions where we give youth players their well deserved chance, and पिछले साल भी like ऐसे rounds में he was using his youngsters, his academy players, of course with a couple of big star players, and I really liked the fact that he announced a very youthful team, and although the big players were present in the stadium, they made sure that they were in attendance, and although they were sitting a row behind the bench, but you could see that they were there to support the youngsters and the players who actually came onto the pitch. Playing 11 की मैं बात करूंगा, it was Freddie Woodman who started in goal, and जब playing 11 announce हुई, I could not figure out कि ये कौन सा system खिला रहा है, but then as the kickoff happened, you could see it's a 3-4-3 kind of a formation, which I was like, okay, this would be interesting. So it was Joe Gomez in the center of that three centre backs, Andy Robertson on the left side of it, who captained the side, Wataru Endo on the right side of it, and then we've got Calvin Ramsey, who at least I had forgotten about, with all due respect, who started off as the right wing back. Yeah, उस position में who could easily go up and down the field. Similarly, on the opposite side, it was Milos Kerkez, and जहाँ पे I was thinking कि whether it's going to be either or Kerkez or Robertson. He started both of them, and he was in the left wing back position, and in the front three it was Rio Ngamoa, Federico Chiesa, and a debut handed to the youngster Kieran Morrison. So yeah, a quite youthful टीम. एंड बेंच की मैं बात करूं, ऐसा लग रहा था कि ये कहाँ की हम लोग बेंच लेकर आए हैं. एक भी प्लेयर का मैंने इतना सुना नहीं हुआ था, बारिंग लाइक केट गॉर्डन एंड अमाद नालो, एंड yeah, so this was it, and Crystal Palace announced a very strong playing 11, and I mean it was expected that they will be the favorites once the 11s got announced, and उसके बाद for a good 30-35 minutes it was looking quite fresh, quite youthful, like we were playing much better, and उसके बाद we ended up conceding 2 goals before half time, like in the last 5 minutes or so, and it was Ismail Assar who made sure that it was a sorry night for all the Reds involved. पहला गोल होता है, उसमें the ball comes in and Joe Gomez tries to defend it, but then he gets in an awkward position and uska ricochet hota hai, which lands perfectly for Ismail Assar in the box. He slots it home 1-0, and then 3-4 minute baad hi, like they have this brilliant play jahan pe they right outside the box 2 or 3 Liverpool players get dragged towards Nketiah, which leaves this ample space for Ismail Assar to take a touch, open the goal for himself, and slot in and yeah, slot in the goal. So that was 2-0. I mean, तब तक तो लग रहा था कि हाँ ठीक है, it is मतलब over because bench पे भी कोई ऐसा player नहीं था जिसकी वजह से we could sort of start a comeback. But there were like a few players who were showing positive glimpses, like Federico Chiesa. He ran like a crazy person for all those 90 minutes, and Gomoa had a few chances here or there. Neoni looked good personally for me. Gomez had a Gomez kind of a game. He looked sorted, but in the very next moment, he didn't look as calm as he did the previous second ago. So उसी के साथ साथ it was good to see Wataru Endo get a game. Second half में we brought in a few players and McAllister got off, Robertson got off, and Kate Gordon had another spark in himself, and it was nice to see him also getting minutes. But I think it was Pino from Crystal Palace who got the third goal. And yeah, the good point is that we did not get any injuries, so that is good. And unfortunately, this season we won't be participating in the Carabao Cup anymore. But fortunately for us, like looking at the fixture congestion and given the fact that we are entering that November, December, Jan, Feb phase, जहाँ पे games will be coming thick and fast, वहाँ पे to not participate in 1, 2, 3 weeks, depending like अगर क्वार्टर फाइनल होता तो दिसंबर के बीच में होता, जनवरी में या फरवरी में वो 1-2 लेग्स होते कैराबाओ कप के, तो वी वुड बी गेटिंग एटलीस्ट 5 days ब्रेक, लाइक लेट अलोन वीकेंड पे हमारे मैचेस किस टाइम पे और किस दिन पे शेड्यूल होते हैं. सो दैट वुड बी अ मच वांटेड thing for this team given the fact that we have not been performing well, and let's say we start getting up to the speed, वहां पे just to either take a day off and sort of get back together in the training grounds would be the perfect thing. So I'm looking at it as it's the best thing that could have happened. Why? Okay, don't get me wrong. Was I happy with the fact that we lost? No, because I wanted us to challenge for all the trophies possible. But once the result was set in stone, आप सिर्फ परफॉर्मेंसेस पे या फिर जो और चीजें हैं जो पॉजिटिव्स होती हैं आप उन पे ध्यान देते हो. ऑफ कोर्स देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स दैट वी need to drill into our main squad, which would be taking much more minutes on the pitch in the coming week. But yeah, मतलब ठीक है. Like I don't remember the last time I've been so happy. I've been so indifferent. I've been so not so down after a loss. And yeah, I mean, given the fact आप एस्टन विला खेल रहे हो on the weekend, Real Madrid आ रहा है आपके घर पे, and then you've got to face Man City away, who are like sort of not, if not peaking, but getting towards the right side of the momentum. You need all the players, all the big players, and to give them a day off was very correct. And make sure that they are ready for this another stretch of 3 games in 7-8 days. So yeah, अब यहाँ पे लोग stats ऐसी गेम पे ना, like it is the perfect breeding ground for all those pundits who do not watch Liverpool that often, who do not understand that Liverpool story. कि now they've lost 6 games in 7 and they've lost 2 games in a row at Anfield. But context हम जैसे लोगों को पता है जो कि लिवरपूल को डे इन डे आउट को ब्रीथ करते हैं कि भाई this was not an important game. Like if you could have lost any of those games, this one would have been right at the top of at least almost every fan. And yeah, given the fact that we announced a young squad also sort of aided that fact कि भाई if we get a win it would be amazing, but even if we lose it's not going to be end of the world, and it is not the end of the world. Having said that, yes, now the pressure will be on Arne Slot in a good sense. I'm saying not like कि भाई उसको sack करो, like sack करने वाली बात तो भाई, rather than sack Slot, it should be more of back Slot in this point of time. And now the pressure will be on the big players to take accountability, take responsibility, and get a decent performance against Aston Villa. Make sure we run our socks off against Real Madrid and make sure that we make a game out of Manchester City at their home ground. So आई मीन ज्यादा गेम के बारे में रिव्यू करने के लिए कुछ भी नहीं है. मतलब ठीक है, वी लुक्ड हेयर देयर, लाइक वी वर लुकिंग ऑलमोस्ट देयर बट नॉट क्वाइट देयर. लाइक आई डोंट थिंक हमने एक या दो टारगेट पे भी शॉट लिए थे. देयर वर मोमेंट्स जहां पे थिंग्स इफ कुड हैव fallen for us, maybe एक गेम बन सकती थी, बट लाइक क्रिस्टल पैलेस वर मेकिंग श्योर दैट लाइक कोई भी ऐसा ड्रामा ना होने दे. And credits to them, credits to the manager Oliver Glasner, credits to the team. I mean, they deserve every bit of success given the fact like what they've been through. But मेरे को सिर्फ अपनी स्टोरी के बारे में पढ़ी है. So yeah, मतलब it is what it is. Cup exit होना is not the best thing you can think of, but जैसे लास्ट सीजन जब हम लोग एफए कप में वो प्लिमथ आर्गेल के खिलाफ हारे थे, ओ हो हार गए, लिवरपूल की टीम हार गई, बट हमारे कोई फायदा हुआ ना जब हमें 3-4 मैचेस और खेलने नहीं पड़े. ठीक है, लाइक उस टाइम तक प्रीमियर लीग वाज ऑलमोस्ट सर्टन, एंड अगर चैंपियंस लीग में इधर उधर कुछ हो जाता तो वी कुड हैव हैड अ डीपर रन इन दैट कैंपेन आल्सो, व्हिच डिडंट materialize, but that's okay. And I genuinely feel that once the results start coming in, this set of extra 1, 2, 3 games that we might not have to play in that tough time in December, Jan, Feb, that would be a much needed rest and a massive boost for the overall squad. So nothing more to dissect, and big week coming up. Let's get ready for that. Let's make sure that we get those 3 points against Aston Villa, in the Champions League game against Madrid, and hopefully against City at the Etihad. So you let me know on how you thought about the game, especially about the playing 11 that Arne Slot announced. And yeah, massive week coming up. Last international break se pehle, there was this last week जहाँ पे we lost against Crystal Palace, Galatasaray and Chelsea, जिसकी वजह से हमारा upward going graph downward हो गया था. Let's make sure इस बार it's the other way around. It's the last week, last 3 games before the coming international break, and from this slipping downward graph, let's make sure it starts looking up. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and are you in the sack slot team or the back slot team? And yeah, if you like this content, let me know by liking this video and also subscribing to my channel. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care.